Okay, so here's a project I'm going to try. I've got a Williams triple strike and the back glass is in bad shape. You can see quite a bit of flaking and the pink's gone. It'll really show up in the machine. But I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try hooking up to a scanner, scan in the various pieces, see if I can stitch together in Photoshop and maybe come up with a full-size version of this in Photoshop that I can touch up all the scratches and ink and then print it out and put it on a piece of plexiglass or glass, kind of like the translates that came out in later machines, because I don't have a lot of faith that my touching up can really give this thing justice. There is a lot of flaking in this. You can see along the bottom and then on their shirts, on a lot of the people, and I just don't think it's going to look good. If this doesn't work, I can touch it up and make it opaque so that the touched up parts don't have a light shining through it, but I'd rather not do that if I can avoid it.
All right, so I've been experimenting a little bit here with Photoshop. I'm very new to the tool and I'm still learning it. But I'm interested in seeing if I can use it to replace the back glass on this triple strike because I don't think I can repair it. It's just got a lot of flaking and problems. So what I did is I scanned the back glass in sections on that flat top scanner, 600 dpi, and here is an example of one of the sections of scan I did. So I had to scan it in multiple areas, but Photoshop has this cool feature called auto align layers. So what I did, I brought each scan in as its own layer, and then I ran that align layers in Photoshop, and this is the results of what Photoshop did as it intelligently aligned all of these layers. So I'm very impressed with the alignment here. There are some issues. Obviously right here I've got some missing scan, and that's a scanner. I think that if the material moves, the scanner doesn't like it and it stops scanning. And right here in the corner, I'm guessing I was holding it with my hands. I probably moved. And then you can see differences in shade between here and here. And this thing is too dark. It needs to be a lot brighter. But what I'm thinking I can do is fix all of these where it's either white or black. I can sample an appropriate spot of color and fill in and make it all one color and then fix the gaps. I'm also going to scan the back because it's got that silver mask on it. I'm going to experiment with making a silver mask that I would, or it'd just be an opaque sheet of paper that I would put behind this, hopefully more translucent sheet of paper that I print the image on, so that I would get the same effect with the certain parts of the back glass, or in this case I guess it's a translate, having only certain parts light up. All right, so here I went in and rescanned this missing section here and compiled those scans as well. And it worked pretty well. I haven't done anything with this. This is showing all layers aligned. So there's overlap here, which is creating, I think, some of this darkness and some of these lines. So that'll be, but I wanted to show the back side of the back glass. So before I started, I put some tape along the solid parts of the back to hopefully help Photoshop align these lines. And so now what I've got here is all of the scanned sections as I move that back glass over the flatbed scanner. And so now what I've done is I've highlighted all the 11 layers. Then I'm going to hit Image, Edit, Auto Align Layers. And we'll just go with Auto. And it's going to think for a minute, then it's going to pop up a dialog box. And I was just going to show the beginning of it and then I'll pause it. See how it's aligning layer 1. I'm going to pause it while it aligns the layers and then I'll resume. Now you can see it's going to generate the output panorama. I'm going to pause it while it runs this for a little while. It's not long, but oh, actually there it is. So here is the result. And you can see You can see it did a pretty good job of stitching together all of these scans. Um, you can see I'm missing one section right here, which it looks like I must have had a gap. And then it looks like maybe it struggled down here. So I'm not sure I'm worried about this because it's all solid color, and I can, when I update the front, I can just make this solid. Okay, so here is the image with the rescan missing sections. It actually looks pretty good. You can see a lot of the grays in here. These are overlaps of the various scans. So to get rid of that, we're going to select all of the layers. Oops. Just shift click there to grab them all. And then we are going to go into Edit, Auto Blend Layers, and we'll pick Panorama. Now this is probably going to take a couple minutes to run, so I think I'm going to pause it. Well, I'd hoped to catch Photoshop as it merged the various layers together, blended the various layers together. Unfortunately, I paused my recording software because I didn't want it to get too long, and I missed it. So I really missed showing how these gray overlaps disappeared. But this is the resulting single image, and I think it looks great. So now I believe the next thing I want to do is condense these down to one layer. And I'm going to save this. I'm going to pull up the image of the back and try the merge layers again to show you it in progress. So all the layers are selected, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the front, which was Edit, Auto Blend Layers, and Panorama. So this takes a while to run. So I'm going to pause it. If this works, the next step will be repairing the front, which means using Photoshop to color match the holes that are missing to fill in the gaps. There we go. There the seams are dropping away. To give us one image. All right, I'm not too worried about this section down here at the bottom, this little white line, because that's solid from there down, from that blue tape down. I'm going to combine layers again, merge layers, which takes us to one. And then I'm going to call that done. So as I was saying, I'll work on the front side, remove all the flaws I can find there, and then I think I need to work on this back side to make an opaque printout, except where it needs to shine through. And I'm a little fuzzy how I'm going to do that. I don't know if I need to cut out the sections that I don't need out of an opaque mask. That's where more experimentation will have to come into play.